Pause the video to work on these problems. When you're done, unpause the video to take a look at the answers and the solutions. Pause the video to take a look at the answers or keep playing the video to see the solutions. Let's now start working on the problems. So the first problem is 1/3 times 1/6. So a rule for multiplying fractions is that you multiply the numerators and you multiply the denominators. So let's start doing that. So this is equal to 1 times 1 over 3 times 6. And 1 times 1 is 1 and 3 times 6 is 18. So the answer to this is 1/18. The next problem is 5/7 times 2/5. Again, let's do the same. We multiply the numerators and we multiply the denominators. And 5 times 2 is 10 and 7 times 5 is 35. And now we can simplify this. We know that 5 is a factor for both 10 and 35. So let's divide 10 and 35 by 5. And we are left with a 2 here, and we are left with a 7 here. So the answer is 2/7. And if we look at this closely, we would have seen that we can actually cancel out the common factor, that's 5, and we would have been left with a 2/7. Now let's do 3/8 times 4/9. So again, let's multiply the numerators, 3 times 4, and multiply the denominators, 8 times 9. And this is equal to 12 over 72. And 12 times 6 is 72. So we can simplify this to 1/6, because if we divide the numerator and the denominator both by 12, we'll be left with 12 divided by 12 is 1 and 72 divided by 12 is 6. So the answer to this is 1/6. So the next problem is 3/4 times 4/3. Let's start by multiplying the numerators, that is 3 times 4, and multiplying the denominators, 4 times 3. Now 3 times 4 and 4 times 3 will have the same answer. In this case, it's 12. So this will be 12 over 12, and that is equal to 1 whole. So 3/4 times 4/3 gives an answer of 1. And these kind of numbers or fractions are called reciprocals. So let me write that down here. They're called reciprocals of each other because when they're multiplied by each other, they give an answer of 1. The next problem is 2/3 times 15/4. So let's start by multiplying the numerators and multiplying the denominators. So 2 times 15 is 30 and 3 times 4 is 12. Next, let's simplify the fraction. So 6 is a factor that's common to both 30 and 12. So let's divide the numerator and the denominator by 6. And 30 divided by 6 equals 5 and 12 divided by 6 equals 2. So we can leave the answer at 5/2, or we can convert this into a mixed number, and that is equal to 2.5. The next problem is 15/6 times 4/5. So let's start multiplying the numerators and the denominators. But before we do that, you'll notice that 15/6 can actually be simplified because 3 is a factor that's common to both 15 and 6. So let's first simplify 15/6. So 15/6, if we divide the numerator and the denominator both by 3, we will have 5/2. And so now instead of 15/6, I'm going to write 5/2 times 4/5. And now let's multiply the numerators. 5 times 4 over 2 times 5. And that is equal to 20 over 10. And that is equal to 2 wholes.